I'd like to share highlights from our visit to Guadalupe Mountains National Park, one of the most beautiful and underrated national parks in the United States. Located in far western Texas, near the New Mexico border, this park protects a rugged mountain range, dramatic desert landscapes, and some of the most fascinating geology in North America. When we first arrived, one of the things that immediately stood out was the contrast between the surrounding desert and the towering mountains rising abruptly from the landscape. It almost feels as though the mountains appear out of nowhere. The park contains the 4 highest peaks in Texas, including Guadalupe Peak, which stands at 8,751 feet above sea level. One of the most interesting facts about the Guadalupe Mountains is that they were once part of an ancient tropical reef. About 260 million years ago, this area was covered by a shallow sea. Over time, coral, algae, and marine organisms built a massive reef system known as the Capitan Reef. As the sea disappeared and the mountains were uplifted, the fossilized reef was exposed, creating the spectacular cliffs and canyons we see today. In fact, geologists consider this one of the best preserved ancient reef systems on Earth. As we explored the park, we were amazed by the variety of landscapes packed into a relatively small area. The lower elevations are classic Chihuahuan desert, with cactus, yucca, and hardy desert plants. As you climb higher, the environment changes dramatically. Pine forests, juniper woodlands, and shaded canyons create a completely different atmosphere. It's like traveling through several ecosystems in a single day. One of the most memorable places we visited was McKittrick Canyon. This canyon is often called the most beautiful spot in Texas, and it's easy to understand why. The canyon contains a surprising amount of vegetation thanks to its protected location and year-round water sources. Tall trees line portions of the trail, creating an oasis in the middle of the desert. During autumn, the canyon becomes famous for its colorful fall foliage, drawing visitors from all over the Southwest. Walking through McKittrick Canyon felt almost magical. Towering canyon walls surrounded us, while birds sang from the trees overhead. It was hard to believe we were still in West Texas. The peaceful atmosphere made it one of those places where you naturally slow down and appreciate the scenery around you. Another highlight was learning about the people who once lived and traveled through these mountains. Indigenous peoples inhabited this region for thousands of years, using the canyons and springs as important resources. Later, settlers, ranchers, and stagecoach travelers passed through the area. The mountains have long served as both a landmark and a refuge in this harsh landscape. One of the park's most recognizable landmarks is El Capitan, a massive limestone peak that rises dramatically above the desert floor. For centuries, travelers used it as a navigation point. Today, it remains one of the most photographed features in the park. Seeing it in person helps you understand why early travelers considered it such an important landmark. Wildlife is another reason this park is special. Although many animals remain hidden during the heat of the day, the park is home to mule deer, elk, javelinas, foxes, bobcats, and even mountain lions. Birdwatchers also enjoy visiting because the varied habitats attract a wide range of species. We kept our eyes open throughout our visit, never knowing what might appear around the next bend. One thing that surprised us was how quiet the park felt. Unlike some of the more famous national parks, Guadalupe Mountains often provides a sense of solitude. There were times when we could stand on a trail and hear nothing but the wind moving through the trees or across the desert. That peacefulness became one of our favorite parts of the experience. For anyone planning a visit, a few tips can make the trip more enjoyable. Bring plenty of water, even if the weather feels comfortable. The dry desert air can dehydrate visitors quickly. Wear sturdy hiking shoes because many trails are rocky and uneven. Also, be prepared for changing temperatures. Conditions at higher elevations can be much cooler than those on the desert floor. Finally, take time to simply enjoy the scenery. Whether you're hiking to a viewpoint, exploring a canyon, or photographing the mountains at sunrise or sunset, the park rewards visitors who slow down and take it all in. Our visit to Guadalupe Mountains National Park was a wonderful reminder that some of America's most spectacular landscapes are found far from the crowds. Between the ancient fossil reef, towering peaks, hidden canyons, rich history, and incredible desert beauty, the park offered a unique and memorable adventure. It's a place where geology, nature, and history come together, creating an experience that stays with you long after you've left the mountains behind.